The decade of 90s is considered best for all types of movies, especially for horror movies. This was the transitional period for horror movies because of the growing competition in the industry. People from Hollywood knew that they have to make something more terrifying, with new concepts and themes.
We have a ghost here, you know.
It can't be easy. A young girl living in a haunted place.
Therefore, they came up with new ideas, and now we have some really scary stuff for our nightmares.
Let's go to bed, Steve. Let's go to bed.
Get away from my kid!
Welcome to the Cine Wizard, and today we are going to categorize the top 10 scariest movies of the 90s. But before we start, beware of the spoilers. At number 10, we got Scream 2. Directed by Wes Craven, this film is second installment in the Scream franchise, like its predecessor. It is only a slasher horror movie. It picks up the story at the same point after the events of the first part.
Fucking kill you! You are dead! Dead!
In this film, Woodsboro College is again terrorized by Ghostface, the famous antagonist in this series.
I fucking killed you. Piece of shit.
It stars Courtney Cox, Neve Campbell, and Sarah Michelle Gellar in leading roles, with some other actors. It received a mixed response from critics, but like the first part, it was also a massive success in terms of revenue. It earned over $172.4 million against a budget of $24 million. At number 9, we got Beloved. In this psychological horror film, a former slave and her daughter is traumatized due to a poltergeist.
Good God, girl. What kind of evil you got in there?
It ain't evil. Just sad. Come on.
Set shortly after American Civil War, this film follows a former slave who is haunted by the reincarnation of her daughter. It is based on the novel of the same name by Toni Morrison. It features Oprah Winfrey, Danny Glover, and Thandie Newton in the leading roles. It was a box office bomb, but received positive reviews from critics for its screenplay and story.
You won't ever leave us, will you? No. Never. This is where I am.
It also received an Oscar nomination for Best Costume Design and many other accolades. Since its release, it has become a cult classic in a horror category. At number 8, we got Army of Darkness.
Necronomicon Ex Mortis, the Book of the Dead.
This comedy horror film is famous for various reasons. Released in 1992, it is the third installment in the Evil Dead franchise. In this part, the protagonist, Ash, is trapped in the Middle Ages, and he must fight the forces of evil in order to return to the present. Like its first two parts, this film is also full of black comedy and gruesome horror scenes. Bruce Campbell reprises his role with Amber Davids in a supporting role. Critics praised the overall idea and plot of this movie, and it earned $21.5 million on box office.
Never obtain the Necronomicon! We shall feast upon your soul!
It is the only film which is capable to make you laugh and scare at the same time.
Yo, she bitch.
Let's go.
At number 7, we got Body Snatchers. Adapted from Jack Finney's novel, this film is the third remake. Starring Forrest Whitaker and Gabriel Anwar, its story follows a scientist's daughter and father who reached a military base to solve some environmental problems.
You're scared. They're out there. They're everywhere. They get you when you sleep.
But things take a dark turn when they find out that this place is full of strange people born out of a giant pod.
Mommy? What's the matter, honey? What's the matter?
There's Mommy. She's right there. What happened?
This sci-fi horror film is directed by Abel Ferrara and was released in 1993.
Afraid of family members. Let it go! People afraid of themselves.
We gotta go right now!
It received generally positive reviews but performed poorly on box office. At number 6, we got Dead Alive. Peter Jackson is one of the talented directors and filmmakers of his generation. His skills in filmmaking is clear and explicit. Before getting famous for his high fantasy films, this director released his horror comedy in 1992. It was not so much success at the box office, but it was praised by critics for its plot, theme, and idea. It follows a young man who saves a town after a zombie virus outbreak. Timothy Blame and Deanna Penlover played the title role in this film, along with other actors in supporting roles. Since its release, it has become a cult classic with a separate fan base. At number 5, we got Scream. The first part of the Scream franchise is still regarded as the best one. In 1996, when it was released worldwide, a lot of speculations were there about its success. But this film was not only successful, but it also helped to create a franchise of the same name.
Your right to remain silent. I didn't do anything. Do you wish to give up your right to speak to your attorney and have him present during questioning?
Starring Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, and David Arquette in leading roles, it follows a serial killer who started a killing spree in the fictional town of Woodsboro. It was met with positive reviews from the public and critics. The antagonist of this series, Ghostface, has become a cultural icon around the globe. At number 4, we got Ringu. With the release of this horror film, Japanese horror cinema became famous for its realistic horror scenes. Its story is based on a cursed videotape that kills its viewers 7 days after watching it. Its popularity crossed borders and many remakes were made in America and other countries. It received positive reviews from critics and its success was the reason for the Ring franchise. It was directed by Hideo Nakata and stars Nanako Matsushima and Hiroki Sanada in leading roles. At number 3, we got The Sixth Sense. M. Night Shyamalan is famous for his plot twists and surprise endings. The quality of him can be observed in his supernatural horror film.
Mama? No. Dinner is not ready. You can't hurt me anymore!
It tells the story of a child psychologist who takes a new case. His new patient is a 9-year-old boy who claims that he can see ghosts.
Something up there?
The psychologist and the boy work together to solve the problem.
Listen to them.
What if they don't want to help? What if they're just angry and they just want to hurt somebody?
It stars Bruce Willis and Haley Joel Osment in leading roles. It was the second highest grossing film in 1999.
You talked funny when you went to school here. You talked funny all the way to high school.
What?
You shouldn't look at people. It makes them feel bad.
Shut up, you freak!
It earned $672.8 million against a budget of $40 million. It also earned 6 Oscar nominations but failed to win any.
I'm feeling much better now.
Do you want to tell me something?
At number 2, we got Silence of the Lambs.
Good morning.
Dr. Lecter, my name is Clarice Starling. May I speak with you?
You're one of Jack Crawford's, aren't you?
Based on the novel of the same name by Thomas Harris, this psychological horror film is influential in every aspect. Directed by Jonathan Demme, it stars Jodie Foster and Anthony Hopkins in leading roles. Its story is based on the investigation by an FBI trainee who wants to catch a serial killer. It was widely acclaimed by critics for its plot, acting, and screenplay.
I've been in this room for 8 years now, Clarice.
It won 5 Oscar awards in all major categories. Anthony Hopkins, who played the character of Dr. Hannibal, became popular for its realism. At number 1, we got The Blair Witch Project. The number 1 pick for today's list is this supernatural horror film, directed by Daniel Myrick and Eduardo Sanchez. It was released in 1999. Its plot is based on an expedition of 3 film-making students who went into the mountains to make a documentary about Blair Witch. After 1 year, their camera is found, which shows all recordings and killings of students by the witch. It is an independent found footage film, which was developed only with $200,000, but it was both a critical and commercial success. It earned $25 million and was praised for its terrifying theme and content.
Come on! I hear him downstairs!
Many people cited this film as the scariest movie of the 90s.
Where are you?
I'm right here!
Well, that was the today's list of top 10 horror films of 90s. Which is your favorite one? And which should be on number 1 position? Tell us in the comments section and subscribe the Cine Wizard for more videos like this one.